What if the life you want isn't about adding more, but mastering these 10 shifts? Consider this: the relentless pursuit of more. More productivity, more possessions, more validation often leads not to fulfillment, but to a quiet, desperate fatigue. We become curators of a life we're too busy to live. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers of the agora and the battlefield, identified this trap 2,000 years ago. Their answer was not a different set of goals, but a fundamental rewiring of perception. Their wisdom offers a radical proposition that peace and power are not found in controlling the world around you, but in mastering the world within you. This is not about positive affirmations. This is cognitive architecture. Over the next 10 lessons, we will move from understanding to embodiment. We will construct, layer by layer, an unshakable inner citadel. This is for the person who feels stuck, who believes their best years are behind them, or who is simply tired of being at the mercy of their own reactions. What you're about to learn posits that your most profound transformation is not a destination, but a manner of traveling. It begins with a single deliberate thought. Let's begin with the cornerstone, the foundation upon which every other Stoic practice is built. Lesson 1: the sovereignty of now. We are temporal exiles. Our minds are time travelers, perpetually fleeing to the reconstructed past or projecting into the imagined future. In the past, we host a museum of regrets, choices we mourn, words we wish we could retract. In the future, we build theaters of anxiety, scenarios of loss, failure, and uncertainty. Seneca pinpointed this precisely. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The phantom pain of a future disaster can be more debilitating than a present hardship. The Stoic intervention is a radical repatriation to the present moment. They ask, what do you truly possess? Not yesterday, which is a story, not tomorrow, which is a guess. You possess this breath, this sensation, this immediate choice. The practice here is to reclaim your mental presence. It begins with a morning ritual of anchoring. Before you ingest the world's noise, the news, the emails, the social feeds, sit in silence. Ask the foundational Stoic question: what is within my control today? List them: your effort, your attitude, your judgments, your responses. Then ask, what is outside my control? The weather, traffic, other people's opinions, market fluctuations. This daily exercise draws a bright line between your empire and the foreign territory beyond. Your power, your peace, your agency exists solely within your borders. When you find yourself mentally drifting into the past, note it. I am revisiting a memory. When you float into future worry, note it. I am forecasting a fiction. Then, gently but firmly, escort your attention back to a tangible anchor in the now, the feeling of your feet on the floor, the rhythm of your breath, the task literally at hand. This sovereignty of now is not passive. It is the active workshop of your life. Every virtue, every skill, every repaired relationship is built in the laboratory of the present. By claiming it, you stop postponing your life. You stop saying, I'll be happy when, and start asking, how can I engage with wisdom right now? This shift dismantles the power of procrastination and regret. It is the first and most critical declaration of self-command. Lesson 2: the alchemy of obstacles. Life will present friction. This is not a flaw in the system. It is the system. The conventional mind sees an obstacle as a stop sign, a reason to halt, complain, or retreat. The Stoic mind sees the same obstacle as raw material, the necessary grit for the pearl. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire in constant crisis, wrote in his private journal, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is not a platitude, it is a perceptual alchemy that transforms leaden setbacks into golden opportunities for growth. How does this alchemy work? It requires a deliberate pause and a reframing protocol. When you encounter a setback, a rejected proposal, a critical comment, a financial hiccup, your first automatic judgment will likely be negative. This is bad. This ruins my plans. The practice is to interrupt that judgment, insert a space. In that space, ask the alchemical questions. What does this situation make possible that wasn't before? What strength does this force me to develop? How does this reveal a flaw in my approach that I can now correct? A rejected proposal becomes a chance to refine your pitch and seek better aligned partners. A criticism becomes valuable data about perception, perhaps revealing a blind spot. A financial loss teaches resourcefulness and clarifies true necessity. This reframing turns you from a passive victim of circumstance into an active agent of your own development. The obstacle is no longer an enemy blocking your path. It is the very terrain of your path. It is the resistance against which you define your strength. By practicing this alchemy, you cultivate a form of optimism that is not naive, but strategic and resilient. You begin to welcome challenges not because they are pleasant, but because they are informative and fortifying. You understand that a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor, and you commit to becoming the sailor, not cursing the storm. Lesson 3: The Mirror of Self-Audit. We are all skilled narrators, but poor historians of our own lives. We spin tales that cast us in a sympathetic light, justifying our failures and inflating our virtues. This self-deception is the enemy of growth. Stoicism, therefore, mandates the practice of rigorous self-honesty, the evening examination. This is not a time for self-flagellation or wallowing in guilt. It is a dispassionate audit, a quality control check for the soul. The methodology is simple, but profound. At the end of each day, find a quiet moment. Review the day's events as if you were a benevolent but impartial supervisor. Ask 3 questions. 1. Where did I act in alignment with my principles? Did I show courage in a difficult conversation? Did I exercise patience in a frustrating delay? Did I act with justice even when it was inconvenient? Acknowledge these wins. They reinforce neural pathways of virtue. 2. Where did I fall short? Be specific and unemotional. Did I lose my temper? Did I procrastinate on an important task? Did I assent to a fearful judgment about something outside my control? Note the lapse without layering on a narrative of shame. Simply identify the error in navigation. 3. What will I do differently tomorrow? Based on this audit, choose one small, concrete adjustment. Tomorrow, when I feel the urge to interrupt, I will pause and count to 3. Tomorrow, I will begin my most important task before checking my email. Journaling this process is crucial. Writing externalizes the thought, making it clearer and more objective. Over time, this journal becomes a map of your psychological landscape. You will see patterns emerge, triggers you were unaware of, virtuous responses that are becoming more automatic. You cannot steer a ship if you don't know its position, its drift, or the condition of its hull. The evening examination is your daily navigational fix. It is the practice that turns experience into wisdom. Lesson 4: The Discipline of Desire. Our culture is an engine of manufactured desire. It expertly identifies our insecurities and offers products, status, and lifestyles as the solution. This creates a state of perpetual want, a quiet hum of dissatisfaction that underlies our days. Stoicism attacks this at the root. It teaches us to subject our desires to a simple litmus test. Is this desire rooted in a natural, healthy need? Or is it a conditioned want implanted by society and fueled by comparison? Epictetus, the former slave, laid down the fundamental rule. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control and some things are not. Our assent to desires, our endorsement of them, is within our control. The object of the desire is often not. The practice, therefore, is to master the internal act of wanting itself. This is where the powerful tool of voluntary discomfort comes in. This is the deliberate and occasional practice of choosing a minor hardship. Take a cold shower, skip a meal, sleep on a firmer surface, walk instead of driving. Why? It is not masochism. It is a practical physical demonstration to your subconscious mind that you are not fragile. It severs the automatic link between slight deprivation and suffering. It proves that your well-being is not held hostage by perfect comfort. When you practice this, you build a buffer between your core peace and the fluctuations of circumstance. You realize that wanting something and needing it are two different states, and you strengthen your ability to reside in the latter. This discipline liberates you from the manipulative grip of advertising, social pressure, and the fear of missing out. You find a profound freedom in sufficiency, in the realization that you already have the baseline requirements for a virtuous and happy life. Lesson 5. The anchor of gratitude. Gratitude is often prescribed as a simple list. Write 3 things you're thankful for. While beneficial, Stoic gratitude operates at a deeper, more existential level. It is anchored not in comparison, I'm glad I'm not them, but in a clear-eyed recognition of impermanence. The Stoic is intensely aware that everything is on loan: our health, our relationships, our possessions, our very lives. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to love even the humble plate he ate from, for soon it would be shards. This is not morbid, it is intensifying. When you truly internalize that this moment is fleeting, you stop taking it for granted. You begin to savor it. The Stoic practice of gratitude, therefore, is a mindfulness exercise in appreciation of the specific and the temporary. Don't just generically be thankful for your family. Tonight, pause and truly see the specific way a loved one laughed today. Appreciate the temporary warmth of the sun on your skin during a walk. Be thankful for the functioning of your body in a simple task. This practice actively counteracts the brain's negativity bias, which is wired to scan for threats and overlook the mundane blessings that constitute a good life. By anchoring yourself in this deep gratitude, you perform a psychological alchemy. You transform what you have from being ordinary and expected into being extraordinary and precious. This cultivated sense of abundance is the antidote to the envy and scarcity mentality that drives so much unnecessary striving. It grounds you in the present wealth of your existence, making you less susceptible to the siren song of what you supposedly lack. Lesson 6. The compass of virtue. In a world that measures success by external metrics, wealth, titles, likes, followers, Stoicism proposes a radical, inward-facing alternative. Let your success be defined by your virtue. The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, practical judgment and understanding; courage, endurance and moral bravery; justice, fairness and service to the common good; and temperance, self-discipline and moderation. The practice is to make these virtues your primary compass in every decision, big or small. Before you act, pause and consult this internal counsel. Facing a difficult truth, ask, what would courage demand? Navigating a complex interpersonal issue, ask, what is the most just path here? Tempted by distraction or excess, ask, what would temperance look like now? Your goal shifts from, what outcome do I want, to what kind of person do I want to be in this situation? This reorientation is liberating. When your metric for success is internal, the integrity of your character, you become remarkably resilient to external fortune. Praise cannot inflate you, as you did not act for praise. Criticism cannot crush you, as your worth is not tied to another's opinion. A project that fails despite your virtuous effort is not a true failure. It is a lesson learned with honor. Your character, as Seneca noted, is the one possession that cannot be taken from you. It is the ultimate source of dignity and self-respect. By making virtue your compass, you ensure that no matter where life's storms blow you, you never lose your true north. Lesson 7. The art of mental detachment. The term detachment often conjures images of coldness, indifference, or withdrawal. Stoic detachment is the opposite. It is the prerequisite for clear, compassionate, and effective engagement. It is the practice of creating psychological space between an event and your reaction to it. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the experiencer of your emotions. The technique is cognitive distancing. When a strong emotion arises, anger, jealousy, anxiety, instead of fully identifying with it, I am angry, you practice labeling it from a slight distance. I am experiencing anger, or a feeling of anger has arisen. This small shift is monumental. It creates a buffer zone where choice becomes possible. From the identified state, you can only react. From the observational state, you can respond. Mindfulness meditation is the training ground for this skill. Sitting quietly and observing the breath, you inevitably get distracted by thoughts. The practice is to notice the thought without judgment, there's planning, and gently return attention to the breath. This is a micro-practice of detachment. You are learning not to be pulled into every mental narrative. In daily life, this translates to not being hijacked by a provocative email, a rude comment, or a personal setback. You see the event, you feel the initial surge of feeling, but from your observational post, you can choose a response aligned with wisdom and virtue. Rather than being puppeteered by raw impulse, you become the calm, deep ocean, and your feelings become the passing waves on the surface. Lesson 8. The fortitude of perseverance. Stoicism is wrongly caricatured as a philosophy of passive resignation. In truth, it is a philosophy of relentless, virtuous action. It recognizes that any meaningful endeavor, building a skill, deepening a relationship, contributing to a cause, will be met with internal and external friction. The desire to quit will whisper in your ear. The Stoic fortitude is the discipline to separate the objective difficulty of a task from the subjective story of suffering you weave around it. The obstacle is the way, is the mantra here. The friction is not a sign you're on the wrong path. It is often the sign you're on the right one, the one that leads to growth. The practice of perseverance is fueled by tying your daily efforts to a purpose larger than momentary comfort or gratification. Why are you doing this? Connect it to a virtue, to build courage, to act with justice, to gain wisdom. Remember your why. When the urge to quit arises, employ the view from above. Mentally pull back. See your current struggle as one small chapter in the long narrative of your life. Will this momentary difficulty matter in a year, in 5? This perspective shrinks the apparent size of the hurdle and expands your capacity to endure. Perseverance is not blind stubbornness. It is the marriage of clear purpose with disciplined action. It understands that the person you become in the process of striving, more resilient, more disciplined, more committed, is often a greater reward than the external goal itself. You are not just building a thing, you are building a self. Lesson 9. The humility of the learner. The Stoic ideal is the sage, the person of perfect wisdom and virtue. The crucial point is that the Stoics considered this an ideal to guide toward, not an achievable finish line. Socrates, a major influence on Stoicism, famously declared that his wisdom consisted in knowing that he knew nothing. This intellectual humility is a core Stoic virtue. It is the active, eager admission that your understanding is partial, your perspective is limited, and you have endless room to grow. This manifests as the beginner's mind. It means actively seeking out information and viewpoints that contradict your own. It means listening to understand, not to reply. It means saying, "I was wrong and I don't know," without a shred of shame, seeing them as statements of liberation and opportunity. It means viewing every person you meet, regardless of their station, as a potential teacher who can reveal something about the world or about yourself. This humility is the engine of lifelong growth. It protects you from the rigid, brittle state of dogmatism, which is the death of wisdom. A mind that believes it has arrived stops inquiring, stops adapting, and becomes fragile in the face of new evidence. The humble learner's mind is anti-fragile. It is challenged and improved by disagreement and new data. By cultivating this, you remain flexible, curious, and forever young in spirit. You understand that expertise in one domain does not confer wisdom in all, and that true confidence lies not in never being wrong, but in the courage to constantly update your understanding. Lesson 10, the embrace of impermanence. This is the lesson that ties all others together. Amor fati, the love of fate, which includes the acceptance of an ending. Everything is in a state of flux. Your youth, your health, your relationships, your material circumstances, all are temporary. The default human response is to resist this truth, to cling desperately to what we have and fear what we might lose. This resistance, the Stoics saw, is the primary source of our existential suffering. Their antidote is the direct and regular contemplation of impermanence, known as memento mori. Remember, you must die. This is not a morbid obsession with death, but a vitalizing practice of prioritizing life. When you consciously remember that your time is finite and unpredictable, the trivial loses its power to disturb you. Petty grievances, social slights, minor inconveniences, they are revealed as the background noise they are. This practice forces a series of clarifying questions. If my time is limited, how shall I spend this hour? Is this argument worth my peace? Am I postponing the conversation, the gratitude, the adventure that truly matters? Memento mori is the ultimate tool for focus and intentionality. It shocks you out of complacency and into vivid engagement. It helps you stop living on autopilot in the vague someday and start making conscious choices aligned with your deepest values today. To embrace impermanence is not to become nihilistic. It is to become intensely, passionately alive to the precious, fleeting reality of the present. It is the final liberating shift that allows you to love your life, not in spite of its temporariness, but because of it. These 10 lessons are not a random assortment of tips. They are an interconnected system, a philosophical operating system. The sovereignty of now, Lesson 1, provides the ground for the alchemy of obstacles, Lesson 2. The clarity from self-audit, Lesson 3, informs the discipline of desire, Lesson 4. Gratitude, Lesson 5, flourishes when you embrace impermanence, Lesson 10. Your virtue, Lesson 6, is expressed through detached, Lesson 7. Persistent, Lesson 8. Action, guided by a humble, Lesson 9. Mind. This is the Stoic path. It is a practice, not a proclamation, a journey, not a destination. It asks for the courage to look inward with unflinching honesty, the discipline to master the chaos of your impulses, and the wisdom to know what is truly yours to command. Your transformation will not be announced with fanfare. It will be witnessed in the quiet moments, in the deep breath you take instead of the sharp retort, in the peaceful sleep after a difficult day well lived, in the steady purpose you feel where there was once anxious drift. It begins not with a dramatic leap, but with the next choice you make. Will you react from habit or will you respond from principle? If this framework provides a map for the territory ahead, please support this channel. A like on this video helps guide others who are seeking this ancient practical wisdom, and for daily guidance on installing these principles into your modern life, subscribe to Stoic Mindset Mastery. Now, the most important step is yours. Which of these 10 shifts feels most urgent for your life right now? Share the one you're committing to practice first in the comments below. Let's build this citadel together.